everyone. My name is Denise Meredith, and I am the CEO of the World's Best Connect. World's Best Connectors, WBC, is a community, an online community, as a matter of fact, of C-suite executives who I used to say get into good trouble. What we do is we help other executives enhance their connections to family, clients, employees, government, and the media. This year is our 5th anniversary, and what we really wanted to do this year is focus on family, because we've had 4 years of talking about clients and employee issues, et cetera, everything that CEOs love to talk about, okay? Thing that CEOs don't talk about much, but need to talk about is family, because it's very important. So we're gonna focus this year on family. We have a lot of other things going on too. We have AI folks in there, real estate development, et cetera. But this year and next year, we're going to really try to make a special emphasis on family relations. It's very tough out there now for a lot of different reasons. And I'll be talking at the end of the program on special programs that we have going that involve student athletes, because that world has become very, very complicated. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, spend most time talking about today, is family businesses. It's been a special issue for me, something that I've really had sort of passion about, that I don't think we do enough talking about. I don't think we do enough encouraging people to start them. And it came to play during the pandemic that a lot of family businesses went out of business. Grandma died and nobody else knew what was going on. Uncle Joe was in charge of operations and he's gone, so everything falls apart. In a lot of cases, family businesses, they're not organized correctly. Sometimes they get into tax trouble. They're not managing their finances well. There's no succession planning. And at WBC, we've had sessions before on succession planning. And what we want to do this year, just starting with this presentation, is to delve more aggressively into family business planning and encouragement. So we have 3 wonderful people here to talk about us today. And I'm very excited that they're here with us. And you'll be able to contact them later and follow up and get them their services personally if you need them. So we're going to start with Ericka Lassiter, and I've known Ericka for many years, and she's a doll. She's a wonderful lady. She's a mover. She's a shaker. A lot of credibility, a stellar reputation. We worked with her and her husband in the past when I had Linking Sports and Communities. 14 years, I had a youth sports nonprofit here, and they were very helpful during that. But I wanted to invite her today to speak about her foundation, a little bit about her personal experiences, of course, but her foundation, because not enough people think about nonprofits, or they have misconceptions about nonprofits, or they get into nonprofits and it goes downhill in a hurry because they don't do it or understand it correctly. And there's such a need for nonprofits. So, and when I talk at the end of the program, one of the things we'll be talking about is that the student athletes that we deal with, we want them to think about that as an option.
Absolutely.
Some of them do after they become pro, and somebody brings something up and they get into it. We want to start them young. We want to start them thinking about it ahead of time. And if you have a family interest in it, it's even stronger. And she has had a wonderful experience with that. So with that, you're on, Ericka.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Denise. It has been a wonderful experience. What I will say about nonprofits is they aren't easy. They do take a lot of work. Sometimes it's a labor of love, more so than benefiting financially, but you are rewarded because of the community and the people that you help and the reason why you give back. One thing when you're thinking about starting a nonprofit is you have to dig deep to what resonates with you and what resonates with your passion. My husband and I, somewhat like Denise just mentioned, decided when he came to Arizona and was playing with the Arizona Cardinals that we wanted to use our funds to give back to the community. And we did it on our own. We started out just from our pocket, giving back to the community, starting with our church for a scholarship, book scholarship, and then we wanted to go bigger. We weren't really sure how to do it. We weren't very knowledgeable, but we did know that we wanted a foundation because our goal was to stop some of the things that him and I had dealt with, and that was not being able to afford our books in college and not being able to get school supplies because our parents just didn't have it. We had to. My mother was a school teacher, so I was able to get it, but on his side too, it was just some days, especially when I went off to college, I just didn't have it. And some days that you just, think, okay, now how am I going to do it? Well, me personally, I would go to the library at school, copy the textbook, and use those papers as my book throughout the whole year. So when we came here, he played for the Cardinals. We were able to give back to the community. We started with a book scholarship and we started our foundation. At that time, it was called the Lassiter Tackle Foundation, teaching off kids to kick off leadership and education. Um, One of the things that we focused on was Title I schools and giving back. And when I say that it's a labor of love and the joy that you receive, our first event was at TG Bar in Phoenix, Arizona. And to be able to give back to those students, take the wish list from the teachers that they weren't getting for, that was provided by the system and by the school system, and actually purchase those items with our own funds, not fundraising, our own funds, and give these to these schools. And then to let my husband actually speak, because it always came with, making sure he had an opportunity to give back and pour into the students and let them know that, these teachers are here for you, how you need to focus on your school and your grades and all that good stuff. So that is where we kind of started off in 1999. We went through that for a couple years. When I had my twins, I knew that I had sickle cell trait. He had sickle cell trait, and our son, who are at that time 1 year old, had sickle cell trait. And we had a kid who had sickle cell anemia. So our focus not changed, but we just decided to use the foundation to not only focus on education, but also let's figure this sickle cell anemia out and how we can support those families here in Arizona with sickle cell anemia. So when you're starting a foundation, dig deep into those things that are passionate and what resonates with you and your family, because when you find something or find the cause, you work even harder and you work hard because you want to see yourself make an impact and a difference in the community. That's how we started. Another thing that I like to talk about a little bit on foundations is um, there will be some success stories that come along with it, and there'll be some, man, that didn't work out. How do we go back and fix it? It's a trial and error. We had no clue. We just learned. We started with Arizona Community Foundation to help build it, and to started to put money into Arizona Community Foundation, and then said, hey, we want to donate to this, or we want to donate to this cause. So if you are trying to maybe learn from someone else how to start a foundation or go through a company, which we eventually did to start it for us to make sure everything is properly filed. Much like Denise said a lot of them fail because they don't know. And we didn't know. Some days I'm still trying to figure it out. And I'm here, and when I said we started in 1999, almost 24, 25 years ago, making it work. So what else would I want to kind of share about it? So just to fast forward a little bit about the sickle cell anemia piece, with our son having sickle cell anemia and noticing that there was a lack for the community here in Arizona where families were able to get resources, get funding, get things that they needed, my son would be hospitalized quite a bit. And at that time, Phoenix Children's Hospital, you shared your room with another family. There was just a curtain in between us. And there's many times that a mother would have to leave and go to work all day or not spend the night at the hospital and depend on the nurses to be there throughout the night with their child. And there's times where nurses are dealing with other people and they're not in the room. And I would have to listen to a child cry in excruciating pain. And that's when I knew then I had to make a difference. I had to be able to help these families if they can't miss a day of work because they can't stay with a child at the hospital? How can we fix that? So that's what I was passionate about, and that's why I wanted to make an impact. And that's why still to this day, we give back to sickle cell families here in the area. And also, one of the things that we want to do is pass it to our children. I have 5 boys, and I have 2 stepdaughters. Um, and I really want them to see how we have progressed in the community and how we have given back to the community, and make sure that they want to carry this torch on. We lost my husband 5 years ago, and my passion to make sure his legacy lives on is through this foundation. So that's why I go hard. That's why I give back. And that's why I'm in the community to this day, is because my goal is to make sure the Lassiter name is not only big in this community and around this world, but also that his legacy lives on. And hopefully, no, not anytime soon, that my legacy lives on as well, through my children and through this foundation. And I am available. How do we do that? We raise funds, we seek donations. We have an annual golf tournament that's coming up in February of next year. For the last 4 years, we have had it on the anniversary of his passing, which is January 6th. And this year marked the 5th year, and upcoming year will mark our 5th year of hosting the tournament. We decided to move it so that my boys could all be a part of it and be present in February. But our goal is to raise money, be able to give back to the families here. We do book bags, school supplies, we do rental assistance, a little bit of everything that we could possibly do to help out families in need that is not being supplied through different organizations. I also sit on the board of Sickle Cell Foundation of Arizona, so I get to see the need and also be able to do the education and resource side of it. So I'm really excited about what we're doing now, what we hope to do in the future, and how we got going. So I will say, if you're interested in starting a family foundation, reach out to me. My email's on the screen. I'll be happy to give you the guide that I had, um, and point you in the right direction, and hopefully, answer any questions you may have.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks so much, Erica. I really appreciate that. The I nonprofits always start with a passion. It's always a reason behind it starting, but it's very difficult to turn that into something lasting, and turn that into something that involves the whole family, turn that into something that benefits an entire community. And that's
Yes.
what Ericka has been able to do. So we really appreciate, it's not just helping your own family, it's helping all families. So really appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. I find joy in it. If I didn't have to work a 9 to 5, I would just give back to community all day long.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate it. We're going to move on to Robert Theobald, and Robert and I have been friends forever. And it seems that way. I told him he looks the same. He's looked the same since I've known him. So anyway, and that's a good thing. But anyway, Robert works for Arizona Commerce Authority, and he can talk about that. But I really wanted him to represent sort of government end of it. There are resources that the government provides. I was in government, federal government for 29 years, and get a lot of flack in government about what you should be doing, aren't doing, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people don't know what government does. And that's really the issue. So I wanted Robert to be on to talk a little bit about what kind of resources and references and referrals, that people know the 3 R's that I talk about all the time, are available to the community. Robert, you're on.
So good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this at. But really glad to be here. I'm Robert Theobald. I'm the Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services at the Arizona Commerce Authority. And I get to work with small businesses all over Arizona. And so when you hear the say, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, I actually really do mean that. I am here to help you with your business, to find all the programs and resources that can help you move forward. As Denise mentioned, one of those things with government, a myth I'd like to dispel is there's generally not grants or free money to start your business. There are, however, grant programs that provide funding to help people help you with your business, so it's no cost to the business owner. And that's some of the things I want to look at today is some of the programs that, my team offers, the ACA offers for Arizona, and even though some of our programs can go well beyond Arizona, but every state has their small business team of some sort within the government, and their goal is to help small businesses grow throughout their state. We recognize that, in Arizona, 99.5% of the businesses in Arizona are small businesses. And many states have similar numbers. And so small business is extremely important, family businesses and so forth. And I know that it's very important to provide programs and activities to help small business owners get some of that education that they probably never had. For example, most people don't understand the language of banks. You go into a bank and you have a checking account, but for business, there's a whole different language that bankers speak. And so we try to help understand that. Or for many people, they haven't even had to balance a checkbook ledger because, when was the last time you wrote a check? And done that. So, there's changes there that people may not understand when it comes to accounting and tracking stuff. So, as an organization, we have a number of programs, and I'm going to share my screen here to share you some of those because they're very important. The first piece here is if you go to, and regardless where you're at in the country, you can go here and check it out and find some of these resources and then see if your state has something similar. But if you go to azcommerce.com and you find the small business checklist, it's under programs. You click on programs. Just right down here, you'll have our small business checklist. And this is a great place to start. And this is a checklist, and we have a virtual assistant as well with some generative AI to help. But this will help guide you through the things with starting a business licensing, sales tax, type of industries and so forth that you might be involved in, and then other resources down below. On the side here, I have a number of programs. I'm not going to get into all those, but one I want to share is kind of the next one is our small business boot camp. And so I have that up right here. And this is a webinar series that I do every Tuesday morning and I bring in experts to help with all that stuff we don't know about running a business, whether it's, understanding the SEO or understanding how to do a P&L or do basic bookkeeping or basic marketing or operations. Or understanding your brand. And so you can see I have different sessions you can access. You can register for upcoming sessions. I do some workshops as part of it. And then one of the best things, and there's no cost to attend these. So you can attend from wherever you're at. I've had people from all over the world actually attend. I think we've had about 15 different countries that people from different countries attend. So it's really exciting. But we record all of them, so then we have this content library. So you can view all 362 webinars. If you click view more, it pulls up this page. It's called the content library. And, if you just scroll through, there's a bazillion of them. So you can sort by different categories. And I want to show an example that may help here, especially when we look at, athletes and NIL, some things that might be helpful. So if you click on the marketing for growth, it'll pull up this page right here. It's got the little checkbox, and these are all the marketing ones we've done, but you can scroll down and find different things. Like one of our people here on this webinar helping manage it is Harriet Wellman. She's got a video. She's done many videos for us, presentations on how to do video for marketing. And, as an athlete, you all know that your videos on Twitter make an impact, especially if you're trying to get scholarships or trying to get your name out there. Another important one right here could be this elevating your brand. So you can go back and watch that video that we talk about how to develop and create your brand, because as an athlete, you are your brand. And then owner brand storytelling is another great one. And we have many more, but these are no cost resources that you can access at any time to help you learn and understand how to run a family business, run a small business, and that aren't going to cost you anything, just time. A couple of the resources I want to share real quick, I'm sharing my screen, is the America's SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. They're a no-cost business counseling program that is available across the country in every state, and they help people get businesses started and grow their business. Another one is SCORE. They do the same thing, but SCORE is volunteers that have had successful careers, and they're just giving back of their time. But their website, score.org, is an amazing education page as well. One of the things is their startup roadmap. You can see right here, it's a whole page and process there. So those are some great programs to help you as you're getting started. So I wanted to share those real quick because there's a lot of help to get your business going. You have to ask for it. And it's proven that small businesses have a much better chance of success long-term if they're using a third-party coach. And these programs are all vetted, and it's much better than hoping, you find somebody who says, hey, I can coach your business, and they're going to take money from you and you might not see a return. You might not see benefit from it, but they took your money. And that's what we want to avoid as we're starting out, is to help you get quality coaching and feedback to help you start and grow throughout the life of your business. And, when we, talk about athletes and NIL, there's going to be lots of people coming out of the woodwork wanting your money. And so setting up your business correctly, having your team, we tell anybody starting a business that you have to have a team when you start. And that team consists of yourself, your accountant, and your lawyer, and maybe any other partners you may have. But your accountant and your lawyer are key parts. And it might not be you talk to them a lot, but you want to start with those. And it's important because as you set it up correctly, then you can avoid some of the pitfalls that may come down the road. You can, make sure you're doing your taxes and your business deductions properly to minimize the taxes you have to pay, or to make sure you're paying on time so you don't have, late fees for paying taxes at the wrong time, different things like that. It can seem daunting, but when you set that team up correctly from the start, things will flow and work much better. So I'm always available. You can email me. I know they're going to put my contact information back up on the screen. Email's the best. You can call. It'll go to voicemail, and then I'll call you back. But if you email me, I'll probably get back to you a little quicker. But I'm glad to speak with anyone about getting started and the resources that you may have locally. So.
It's great. Oh, thanks so much, Robert. Robert is just another blessing for our community here. He's out and about. You see him all over the place. In addition to, I asked him about the picture behind him. It's a ghost town in southern Arizona. He gets around the state, which is really nice. So no matter where you are in Arizona, you're liable to run into Robert. But the information he has is valuable for anyone across the country. So really appreciate you sharing that with us. And people know in medicine, you have generalists that you go to, and then you have specialists. So our next speaker is a specialist in why we're here today, and that's family business. And I met Pete at Better Business Bureau. I want to give them a plug. They're one of our partners as well. And I always tell people, BBB is not your grandfather's Better Business Bureau. People have an image of what the Better Business Bureau used to be. It is not. Okay, it is modern. They have technology. They have workshops about issues that are very topical. And I saw a workshop that Pete gave there on family business several years ago, I guess. And so I always kept him in mind, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to share his information and his skills with a wider audience. So if you join our mastermind later that's coming up, you'll probably see Pete again. And we also have programs that we're developing for student athletes themselves, and Pete may be involved in those as well. So with that, Pete, you're on.
Thanks, Denise. It's great to be here. I wish you hadn't said what you said because it was actually my grandfather's Better Business Bureau. My
So,
grandfather was one of the original founders of the Better Business Bureau in
wow,
Arizona in the 1930s or 40s, I believe.
wow,
He was one of the first. And so that was part of my connection to the Better Business
that's
Bureau. And
good.
it isn't the same as when he was there, but it did happen to be my grandfather's
That is funny.
Better Business Bureau. I'm really excited to be here. One of the cool things is, to build on what Ericka said, what Robert said, it really goes together nicely with what I'd like to share. I recently shared 20 ideas on being successful in business, and I'm just going to run through those. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I just celebrated 25 years in business, in peak workout business coaching. I founded, and then I founded the Family Business Performance Center. So it's an online resource for family businesses, and I get to work with families all over the world, actually. So I have a lot of experience in family business. I grew up in our 90-year-old family business, so I was kind of born and raised in a family business. So I'm just super excited to be here. What I was thinking about in preparation is running a business is a lot like being an athlete or being a student athlete, being a professional athlete. It involves coaching, training, practice, resilience, mindset, winning, determination. So I think the audience, being an athlete has a lot of similarities with being a successful entrepreneur. It is competitive and you really got to bring your best. 7 out of 10 family businesses will not succeed to the next generation. So the failure rate is very high in family business. We know that. I'd love for you to walk away with 1 or 2 new ideas that you could begin implementing right away. Coaching done right is really about giving you ideas, helping you develop ideas, and then holding you accountable. So more than anything, I want people that attend this, view this, to really walk away with 1 or 2 new things that you can implement right away. I think that's really important. The first thing I put on my list is remember what a gift it is to be of service to others. I loved where Ericka went at the very beginning. If you want to be successful, especially in business and life, you got to be passionate about something. You're going to be tested all the time. So you think it'd be nice to have a business. It'd be great to have this business. If it's something you're very passionate about, that's going to help you a long way. And that's going to help you get up every day and go after it again. So remember what a gift it is to be of service. Secondly, as she said, be passionate about it. When I started my business, people said to me, I wasn't sure what you were selling, but I could tell you were so excited about it. And I wanted some of it. So if you're not excited about it, if you're not bringing big energy to what you're up to, you may not have others sign on. So really, really be passionate, bring a good mindset. Number 3, be unique. This is something Robert just talked about. And lots of good books. I'd encourage you to see his video. One of my colleagues and best friends wrote a book on brand storytelling. It's so important. So you have an idea for a business. Don't go too fast, too far. Stop and really take time and think about your brand and what it's about. And the more it can be true to you and resonate with you, again, that's the thing Robert said. You are the brand. So don't try to design a brand that's over here and you're over here. The more those line up, the more you're going to be successful and can do that every day. Be a thought leader. Write books, articles. If you want to stand out, I want you to really be thoughtful about who you are and the impact you're going to have on the world. I was lucky enough this last year to be in the Costco magazine that went out to 20 million readers. That is so exciting, just to be of service, share your ideas with others. So be unique. Really think about what is your unique proposition, your unique perspective on the world. That's how you will stand out. Be aware of your ideal customer or your ideal client. So whatever business you want to be in, go sit in their shoes a little bit and think a little bit about what do they want? What is a need I can serve? And spend a lot of time like being a pretend customer for your business. That's a really important thing to do. Be consistent. One of the guys I studied with years ago talked about compound interest. So the more you're consistent every day, that's going to build over a long period of time. And I think that there are many entrepreneurs that have fits and starts, spurts of wisdom, of energy. The people that are really successful in so many things in life are really consistent over a long period of time. So be consistent. Be innovative and adaptive. The world changes. Something else Ericka said was really important. It's like you learn from your mistakes. Sometimes the biggest mistakes become a real test for you, a real moment where you can adapt and you can learn. So even when I go into a prospective new opportunity, and if it doesn't work, I tell myself before, hey, you're going to learn something. So even if this goes your way, that's great. If it doesn't, you're going to get feedback and learn how you can get better. And I think that's the world of athletics too, to continue to test yourself and see where you're at. Be a team builder. Robert brought this up. I have web people, social media, accounting, kind of my board of directors. Get a group to help you. And some of the people on this session today could be a good start. Build a team. And one of the things we've said in coaching for years is delegate everything but your genius. I'd like to do the things that I'm the best at and not actually try to do things that I'm not good at. And that'll support your energy and help you be more successful. Be a strategic partner. This is a strategic partnership. Denise, this is what she does. This is her life, is connecting people. You are probably not going to be successful or as successful without putting together a group that can really help you. Be engaging is the next thing I thought about. Again, you think you have a good product, you think everybody's going to love you. The more you can engage people, the more you can, in my line of work, I call it infotainment. You're trying to stand out and engage people. And again, that's an important piece. Be collaborative with others. Talked about that. That's what we're doing here now. Be resilient. Thick skin, okay? And I said, being in a family's hard. Being in a family business, oh my gosh. If you're thinking about being in a family business, you better put your, flak jacket on. You better be prepared. You better be resistant. I find I've been married for 37 years. I've got 2 children in their 30s, and we continue to practice communicating, loving each other, supporting each other, challenging each other, dealing with conflict. So you better be resilient if you're going to be in it. Be a student. I said, keep learning and expanding your toolkit. Beginner's mindset. That's what Robert was talking about as well. Ericka was talking about some of that. Come with an open mind every day and keep learning. Be inspiring. That's another thing that's really important. People want to do business with people that have a good story, that lift you up as you do work with them. So keep honing your story and be inspiring to others. And then the last thing I put is have some fun. If you can have fun every day, if you can have fun in what you do, you can tell when you listen to Robert, Ericka, Denise, everybody here, we love what we do. That's going to make it a lot easier too. So I think that's a list that would give you some things to think about. And I really hope you take 1 or 2 and turn it into action. And Denise, I just appreciate you having me be here, and I'd love to be of service to anyone I can. There's a lot of free tools and resources on my site, and it's just an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, and his information is up there. It's just very exciting, obviously, to have you with us, Pete. I was thinking when you were talking, the image, of course, we're in very tense times, but
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's been growing that way. And the image, and you hit on it, of family business is not a positive one.
Mhm.
I'm pretty old, but date back to my favorite show is Dallas.
Yeah.
And the whole JR thing. And then you fast forward, what was the big hit recently? Succession.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional families is a lot of what we're hearing about. So I have this question that I want to ask all of the panelists in summary. What do you think is the greatest positive thing about having a family business? Start with Ericka.
It's the bond that I create with my family. Am I unmuted? Yes. It's the bond that I create with my family, the ability to do it with my children, for them to experience and what I want to see them continue to do. So that's one of the great experiences that I have. And also just giving back to community, that brings me joy.
Sounds good. Robert? What do
One of the things I enjoy, and I work for the state, but on the side, I have a small business doing photography stuff, is teaching my boys some skills with with the camera. And they all get out and do it. And some of them are trying to do more with other stuff. But a couple of my boys have become published photographers as well, with some of the help when they helped me out with some projects. So it's be able to teach the family members about the business and some of the skills that go with it.
Good. And Pete, you mentioned a lot of benefits, but what's your favorite?
Well, I think what Ericka said, I do some work with my kids. They help me in my business, but they're really in their own professions. It's great venue to get to spend time with your kids. Like Ericka, though, and some of the families I work with have really great legacy building businesses. So it creates a family legacy, a reputation, an impact in a community. And that can be a really, really cool thing. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not enough of that. I grew up, I say military family. My dad was a 20-year Army strong, 20-year Army veteran, but he did a lot of different things. Photography was one of them. He was a professional photographer. So I grew up learning that skill, which came in, of course, very handily at 20 years that I was freelance journalist. And my mom was community organizer. So pretty much my whole life growing up was about family working together, not just our family working together, but helping other families work together. So I really appreciate everything that you guys had to say today, because we don't talk enough about it. Who talks about family?
If I could just add, Denise, I think we're trying to come together as a nation. We're trying to, I'm just amazed how many times at the family level, it's difficult to understand each other, be supportive, bring an open mind, be able to have good dialogue. So I think the more we strengthen families, the more we strengthen our communities and really can have a big chance to strengthen the world we live in. And so, it's not always easy. And it's such important work.
Yeah, it is. So again, I want to thank all our guests. I want to talk a little bit about some things we have coming up in the future with World's Best Connectors and Wish We Had Known. And Wish I Had Known is, of course, the title of this whole program that we're doing. So this is our 5th episode this year. We will have one more episode, and that's going to be on how to deal with the media. That's coming up. And that's difficult these days too. I think both of the candidates are here this week, so we're going to be pretty busy here in Phoenix. But dealing with the media is very important that we understand that. But longer term, so those will be the 6 parts of the Wish I Had Known series, and we're going to package that. People will be able to get the package of the 6. You can go online right now on wishihadknown.net and see previous episodes, and you'll be able to see this one up there soon, and the media one when we get that done. But we're also going to incorporate these into our next stage, which is the Wish I Had Known Mastermind for parents. And this is for parents of student athletes. It could be athletes of any age. They start gymnastics at 4 years old now. I think Little League starts at 5. It's pretty incredible when we're starting kids off in sports these days. And it goes to the other extreme. Some of the guys in G League, this is their last shot to try to get into the NBA. So they're a little older. So we're going to really focus on all of those groups. Okay. So this is for parents, kids of any age. And what we're going to try to do is turn them into power parents, and power parents in a good way, not not in a bad way. We're going to start that probably next month in November. We're looking for founding members, which are the parents that are going to start it out. We're going to have like 10 parents or sets of parents on the program. And the program consists of 15 classes. And that sounds like a lot, but raising an athlete is a lot of work. We're going to show you about how to make that work easier, how to save money, how to get money, how to keep the whole family happy. If you have the athlete getting all the attention, sometimes that creates other problems in the family. We'll be talking about health issues. So these are the 4 categories we're going to focus on. Parenting itself, the challenges with that and the rewards with that. The athlete financial game plan, finances. It's very expensive to raise an athlete. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's expensive. You got equipment, you have lessons, you have club fees, you have transportation, going to the games. It's difficult. It's difficult. And people look at NIL and all these awards, the gold medal at the end. Getting to that is going to cost a bit. So we're going to help you develop financial game plan, how to maybe get that. Elite athlete handbook. There are mental issues affecting athletes, physical ones, obviously affecting athletes. We're going to spend more time on that, on how you deal with those problems. People don't think about that when, you're at the ball game watching your son hit a home run, but how is he really feeling about it at school? Is he getting, teased at school? Is he getting harassed? Or is he the champion, the ladies' man at school? What kind of issues does that bring? So we're going to talk about those type of psychological, social, physical, mental issues. And then finally, contingency plan. What if they don't win the gold medal? What if they don't get drafted? What if they don't make the team? What if they don't get that goal that you've been working for, or they've been working for their entire lives? What do you do next? So we'll help families deal with that. So that's coming out. We have a questionnaire that's going to be going out this week. You can go to our website, www.wishihadknown.net, NET. Fill out the questionnaire, send it in. We'll be, screening people, see who's maybe a best fit for this initial go around. Next year, we'll have a lot more people involved. And but we're going to have instructors. They're going to be professional athletes, current ones, retired ones, people from the community like Ericka we're talking about, people that are experts like Pete, people in government like Robert, politicians, they have their say too, and we have to pay attention. They have some resources that we can take advantage of. So look at the website, fill out the questionnaire, send it in, schedule a call with me. If you're serious, after you look through all of this, you think you are the parents for this class, that you really need this class. You're having some of these problems we're talking about. You really need help. Give me a call and we'll see if you're a fit for this program and what we can do for you. But again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our guests here. Please follow up with them. They're all great people. They all have wonderful advice. Again, with our program that we're going to have, the mastermind, and it's a long program. It's once a week for 15 weeks. So it takes some dedication, it takes some commitment, but believe me, it'll be worth it. And we were also going to continue this type of thing. We had 6 programs this year. We'll probably have 12 next year because we're going to make it a monthly feature on our 24/7 television network that we're starting, Nilo Media Network. It's already starting a little bit. You'll be hearing more about it with the bowl games coming up, Arizona Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, etc., that are going to be featured. But we're going to make this a regular show next year on the Wish I Had Known. Will be a regular show on Nilo Media Network. So with that, thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope to see you all again soon. Take care.